How many liters should you have in your Enduro hydration pack? So sometimes it's hard to tell how much to be able to put in your pack because you got different types of riding, different lengths of riding, different weather conditions. And one of the problems is when you don't get this right is you get dehydrated, and especially on the longer rides, you end up getting caught out miles away from the car. You feel like shit, ruins the rest of your ride, and all you're thinking about is going home, and all your mates are still having a good time. So what I'm going to do in this video is tell you and show you a couple of ways that you can map out how much water you need to get in, and at least give you a starting point, and get you a lot closer to where you need to be. So first thing to start off with when it comes to the water side of things is always try and measure things in 600 ml bottles. So most water bottles are about 600 mils. This is a 600 mil. You want to be having about 600 mils, so one of these bottles, for every hour of riding that you're doing. Okay, so if you're doing a 3-hour ride, then you're going to be having 1.8 liters. Okay, so 3 of those bottles of water in your Camelback. So your Camelback's got to be at least 2 liters, okay, to be able to do a 3-hour ride, and that's going to give you a starting point. Now, obviously, a few things are going to change from there, right? Because sometimes you're going to ride in hotter conditions. If you live up like north of Australia and you're riding out where it's really hot, it's probably going to be more than 600 mils. Whereas if maybe you're going riding in, say, like Canberra in the middle of winter where it's almost snowing or is snowing, then you're probably not going to go through as much water. So use that as just a general rule of thumb to start with. Once you've done that, okay, and you've gauged your conditions, roughly, okay, give or take, depending on if it's hotter or colder. The next thing that you can do to really dial things in for your specific body type is you can use a set of scales and you can weigh yourself. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. But the reason that this is really effective is because everyone, in different weather conditions, everyone sweats differently. Some people sweat a lot and really salty sweaters, and it's just pissing out of them all the time. Otherwise, some people like me don't sweat too much at all. So I'm not losing as much water. So one of the ways that you can work things out specifically for you when you ride is you can use a set of scales. So I've got a set of scales here. These are just normal bathroom scales that you can bring with you to the track. So the way that we can use these to be able to help us is when you go to the track, when you've got all your gear off and you're getting changed into your riding gear, in as minimal clothing as possible, is go and weigh yourself. Okay, so first thing you do, you get to the track, jump on the scales, or let them reset, jump on, weigh yourself, see whatever the number is, okay, write it down, stick it in your phone. And then once you've done that, go and do your normal riding, okay, do your hydration, use the roughly 600 mils for every hour of riding. And then when you come back and you're getting unchanged and you've got all your clothes on, what you're going to do is you're going to jump back on the scales again, okay? So the reason we want to use a minimal amount of clothing is because obviously when you sweat, your clothes absorb the water, okay? So we want to make sure that we've got that off so we know how much your body is actually losing. So once you're finished, you're riding and you've got minimal clothing on again, you come back to your scales, okay, jump on your scales, and then we're going to grab the number again, okay? So let's say when I weighed myself at the start, let's say for me I was 93, and now I'm 94.9. What that means is that I've lost 1.9 kilos of water, okay? Which is a reasonable amount of water to be able to lose. So we want to make that up in mils, okay, as best we can. So if we've lost a kilo, that means we've got to be able to get roughly another litre in over that riding time, okay? If we've lost 2 kilos, then that's a fair bit to lose. That means we need to work on trying to get another roughly 2 litres of water in over that same period of riding time. So you can use that as a gauge to start with and at least get you in the right direction, and then you can modify it and tweak it from there. If you guys are after help with this stuff in terms of mapping out your training, mapping out your nutrition, mapping out your hydration, you can apply for my Faster Laps program below. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed this video.